Okay,
All right, sounds good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quick and Easy Ways to Draw More Traffic, Give High Value, and Increase Your Profits with Your Blog. My name is Flora Brown, and on the screen you should see my slide that tells you a little bit about me. So let's see if I can enlarge that so that you can see it pretty much better. Okay, I hope you're able to see that. For those of you who don't know me, I thought I would tell you a little bit about me before Michelle gets started. I have been around a little while. I'm the owner of ColorYourLifePublished.com, a website to help people who are aspiring authors, mainly coaches and entrepreneurs. I've taught school for a total of 40 years. Whoa, sounds like a lot. That's because it is. I taught from junior high. I was an English teacher back when I was a young thing, all the way through college level. And I retired in 2007 to start a new life. And my new life included writing and traveling. I've owned a tutoring program. I've owned a gift basket business. I have written language arts textbooks, self-help books. That's my most recent one. When I was raising my 4 kids, I was always writing something that pertained to them, it seems. I'm a speaker. I'm a talk radio host. I've managed several websites. Sometimes I think they manage me. And now I'm the grandmother of 3, so I've had a pretty full life and a lot of experiences to share. But today, I am the host of this show, and I have invited to join me Michelle Schaefer, who is a blogger extraordinaire. If you are in business of any kind these days, it is essential that you market your business. And one of the best ways, the easiest ways to do that, and the quick ways, is to have a blog. But it's very helpful to know how to maximize your energy that you put into your blog in order to get clients. So that's exactly what Michelle's going to be sharing with you, and I'm going to turn this over to her, and we're going to get started with this in just a minute with Michelle. Okay, Michelle, we're about to switch presenters. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All I have to do is find out how to get myself off the screen. Here we go. Okay.
The joys of using a webinar tool.
I know. Hey, there's only one way to learn it, and that's to start doing it, and that's what we're doing today. Okay.
And that's a great example of how to be successful with blogging as well.
That's right. So I am no longer the presenter. Yay! So you have the floor, and you may go ahead and get started.
Great. Okay. Well, I want to thank Flora for hosting me on this presentation today. She and I have been chatting for a while now about blogging and book publishing and all sorts of topics. And Flora has a wide range of expertise. I've enjoyed reading her blog and getting to know her. I picked up a copy of her book, Color Your Life Happy.
Oh,
if you don't have that yet, I highly recommend it. It comes in the Kindle version. Very convenient. And I'm excited to be sharing with you today some quick and easy ways that you can get more traffic to your blog, give high value, and increase your profits. Because blogging should not be just another thing on your list that you've got to do today, you got to cross it off, get it checked off, and that you dread doing. It should be something that you can enjoy because it is drawing more traffic, helping you connect, and increasing your profits. So we're going to go through each of those today. Hopefully you can see my slides. It's switched from blue to pink. It should be what's on your screen.
That should be the big clue, huh?
Yes, the big clue. It's pink now. So, go ahead, Flora.
I want to make sure that everybody sees your screen because I no longer have the screen audience view. So would you type in yes, 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 or definitely, or something to indicate that, yes, you do see the screen so we can proceed. We don't want you to miss any of this. So how about yes, yes, yes? Oh, one person has just 3 times, so very definitely.
Oh, good.
So let's get rolling. And, oh, by the way, Michelle, I want to point out to our wonderful attendees that we are very grateful to have you here, and
Yes.
we are going to give you some very juicy information. Michelle always over-delivers, and Toward the end, however, Michelle is going to tell you how you can work with her and get even more information, if you can believe that there's more information than what we can share with you today. So, Michelle, would you take the floor?
Absolutely. We do appreciate you being here and listening, and I know that your time is valuable, and we're going to do our best to jump right in here and just deliver some great content. Flora had shared the link, and we'll give it to you again before the end of the call, to a worksheet that goes along with this presentation, so that what I share with you, you can go down through and check off the boxes as you get each thing in place on your website. We want to make sure that this is easy for you to take action on and get some value out of today. So, who am I? Well, we know who Flora is. She's been teaching longer than I've been alive.
Oh, thanks, Michelle.
Amazing. I admire that. I homeschool my kids, and I can't imagine teaching a whole class for that many years. That's an awesome, awesome profession.
Thank
so
you.
I've been online since the 80s. I've been creating websites since 1993, kind of back in the stone age of the internet. I've been working for myself since 2000. And I started blogging in March of 2008, but I really didn't start to figure it out until late 2009. So I blogged for about a year and a half, and I did not get traffic. I did not give high value. I did not make profits from my blog until I started to put together some of the pieces that I had missing and figure out what was I doing wrong. Once that happened, then good things started happening with my blog. I am co-host of the Ultimate Blog Challenge and the 31 Days Blog Challenge. I've been running those with my partners for the last year and a half, and through the two combined, we've mentored over 2,500 bloggers to help them build blogs that work for them. I'm a certified Solo E expert, a monthly blogger at CWAM and other sites around the internet, and I have an award-winning blog that right now is averaging about 250,000 page views a month. So I have been there when it comes to not getting any traffic to my blog, and I've also been there when it comes to getting some traffic to my blog. And that's what I want to share with you today, is what I had to change to go from not seeing very many page views to getting enough traffic that I feel good about blogging. I feel excited about being able to share what I can through my blog. So next, who are you? If you are on this call listening, we're going to assume a couple of things. You are either building your own business, or you're blogging to build a platform. It might be for a cause or something that you care about. You are either blogging or you're thinking about blogging, because I don't think you'd be here if you weren't interested in the topic, which means you recognize the potential benefits of a blog and you want more from your blog. If you're not blogging yet, maybe you're wanting to make sure you get started right. If you're already blogging, maybe you want to see better results, and I can help you with these. Two more things I'm going to assume. You offer a fantastic product or service, and you care about your clients. Those are some important pieces to have in place. So how can we help you today? We're going to talk about getting more traffic without spending hours a day promoting your blog. I don't spend hours a day out there promoting my blog, and I'm getting results, and I'm going to share with you how to do that. I'm going to talk about how to give high value, why this matters, so that your readers will take action on what you're sharing, so that they'll get results and that they'll keep coming back. And then we're going to talk about how to increase your profits from your blog, ways to leverage the time and the energy that you're putting into blogging so that you're putting more money in your pocket. And that's really where everything begins that we're going to talk about today. I just went over who am I, who are you, and how I can help you. And that's where it starts, with doing these things for your blog. Who are you? Who are your readers? And how can you help them? You can see on the slide there's a pyramid. It starts at the bottom is value. You have to be delivering value through your blog. And when you do that, traffic builds on top of that, and then you see profits and good things start to happen with your blog. So let's jump into that. Knowing your blog's mission. Why are you blogging? Who do you want to reach? And who can you help? I bring these questions up a lot when I do presentations like this because it's so important to start with the end in mind. Why are you blogging? If you've got a business, then maybe you are blogging to build that business, to reach the clients that you can help. If you are starting your business as a blog, you want to think about, what is your goal and your mission for that? And who are your ideal readers? Who can you help? Creating high value. Why does valuable content matter? And how do you create content that your readers will love? We're going to start with creating value, because you're getting the traffic and then making money from your blog. It all has to start with what you're presenting and what you're delivering. So what does it mean to create high value content? The real challenge with this question is that your readers are the ones who get to define it. So I can't tell you what exactly high value is to your readers. It's something that you learn as you go, and I'm going to tell you some clues that you can look for to figure out what your readers think of your content and how you can create content that they will find valuable. So sharing great content. The first thing that you've got to keep in mind, yes, I know there are 50 million blogs out there. I know there are a lot of people blogging about the same topics that you and I are blogging about. But I have something that no one else has. And you have something that no one else has. And that is you. You are unique. You have unique life experiences. You have unique knowledge, unique skills. That's what is going to make your blog unique. So you want to, first of all, the foundation of your blog and your content needs to be who you are. Once you've got that figured out, and you're secure in the fact that your blog is unique because of that, I don't want you to ever worry that everyone else is sharing the same thing you are. When you think about it, there are literally thousands of people out there blogging about what I blog about. Okay, and some of them get tons more traffic than I do. But I don't worry about that, because I know that what I share and how I share it and who I'm sharing it with is unique to me. And the same applies to you. Okay, so you want to get that mindset in place that you can deliver unique content because you are who you are. So sharing great content then, the first thing and the best thing you can do to create content that your readers are going to find valuable is to answer the questions your target market is asking. I've shared this story before if you've heard me on webinars, but the highest traffic day that I ever had on my blog happened about almost a year ago now. I need the work to beat that. It was almost a year ago, and I had a huge, huge spike in traffic from a blog post that was not even something I would have thought to write about. But somebody emailed me and said, how do I do this? And it was a question that was going to require screenshots or a video, something that I could demonstrate, because I blog about some technical stuff. And I thought, well, if I'm going to go through and create all these screenshots, then I am going to see if they mind if I do it as a blog post and share it with more people. So this wasn't even my idea. It was something somebody else came to me about, and I got their permission. I used them as an example to give them a little promo on my blog as a thank you for letting me share that. And I laid out the blog post, put it out there, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm glad that I helped her, and maybe a few other people will find it useful. I woke up the next morning, and my blog had exploded. I had all these hits to my blog, and I had lots of opt-ins to my e-zine, and I'm going, what did I do? It was this big mystery to me. It took me a while to figure out. But what happened was that the blog post had gotten shared hundreds of times on Facebook. Because what it was about was how to add your blog to networked blogs. And if you've been to my blog, you can see that's still one of the top posts ever on my blog. So answering the questions that your ideal readers and your target market are asking is really key to figuring out what kind of content they want. If you create what people want, you're going to get traffic because it's what they're searching for. It's what they're typing into Google or Bing or whatever search engines are still out there other than those two. And when you're sharing that kind of content, they're going to be thrilled when they find the answer on your blog. So let's talk about a couple of ways that you can figure out what people are asking. Because I know when I started out blogging, I was getting questions from clients, but I wasn't getting a whole lot of email of, could you blog about this, or how do I do this? So if you're not getting those kind of emails and you're not sure what your target market does want, what your readers are interested in, there are some ways that you can still find out. A couple of things you can do. One is look at other blogs in your niche. See who the big bloggers are that are blogging about the same thing you are, and go look at their comments. Because you can see in the comments the type of questions that readers are asking, and you can find out and kind of get inside their head and see what they're struggling with. And that can generate a lot of ideas of what might be good to blog about. Also, look at the social networks. Go to popular Facebook groups or Facebook fan pages that are centered around the topics that you're blogging about. Look for the questions. Go to Yahoo Answers or Google Answers, or there's a site called Quora. These are sites where people ask questions and other people answer the questions. This is another great place to get ideas, to find out what people are searching for. And one more tip for this, as your blog does start to grow, a plugin that I blogged about today, I believe it's called SearchMeter. And what it does is it lets you see what people are searching for on your blog. It tracks when somebody puts something into the search box, and then it shows you if they got any results for it. So you can see, where's it now? Yes, it's called SearchMeter, so you know exactly what people are not just asking for, but what they're specifically wanting to learn from you. And I always find this interesting when I look at mine and see what people are searching for, because it tells me what they want me to be offering them. So great plugin tip is called SearchMeter. I want to look for that one. So some other ways that you can share great content are introduce your readers to resources, people, and services. We all love to find great resources, right? It's so helpful. Yes, it is so helpful when someone else comes to you and says, hey, check this out. This worked for me. It saves us such a learning curve. I know, Flora, you and I have been emailing back and forth about webinar services.
That's right.
We've been going, oh, look at this one I found, and then one of us will test it out, and we go, oh, no, that one did not work well. And it's saving both of us time because we can compare notes, so to speak. And if you do those kind of things for your readers, they will appreciate that you are sharing with them what worked for you, what didn't work for you, who you found helpful as a coach or as a motivational thing, whatever it is that you find helpful that your readers may be interested in. Those are great things to share. Some of the posts that get shared a lot from my blog are ones I do where I round up resources or I round up a list of bloggers that I'm reading. Another thing is share from your experience, because again, this is something that's totally unique to you. No one else has gone through the same life journey that you have. No one else has gone through the same life journey that I have. But we all go through the same emotions and the same struggles on one level or another. And when you share from your own experience the challenges that you've gone through and how you got through them, people are going to connect with that. I get really great comments on my blog when I dare to be a little bit vulnerable. And that's hard for me because I tend to be a private person. That's one thing I've really had to work on in blogging. I blogged the other day about celebrating failure, and people would probably laugh if they knew how long it took me to get brave enough to hit publish on that post, because that was hard for me to share, but it's something that I know my readers can connect to and be encouraged by. So share from your own experience things that you have figured out how to get through, or even that you haven't figured out quite yet, but that you are getting there. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the top expert on whatever you're blogging about. All you have to be is somebody who is learning it as you go and willing to share that, because there's a lot of value in the journey that it takes to get to where we're going. Some other tips here. Do tip and list style posts. These are really popular, and what these are is just where you say, here's 5 ways to do X, or here's 9 things you need to know about whatever the subject is. Here's 5 things to avoid, 3 things you should never ever do. Those kind of posts are very popular. Another way to share great content is to not let it be just one screen of text. Break it up with video, photos, and audio, because these are elements that connect to people emotionally. Now, a good writer can connect emotionally as well, so I'm not discounting that side of it, of course, but there's something about photos. There's something about seeing things, about hearing someone's voice that makes it easier to connect with them. So I encourage you to look at how you can pull that into what you're doing on your blog. If you are looking for sources for media for your blog, especially if you're looking for photos to add, there's a couple sites that I can recommend, and I've blogged about it a few times. We can send out some links too. But one that I found recently I really like is compfight.com, COMPFIGHT.com. Weird name, but very cool site. When you go, it lets you search through Creative Commons licensed photos from Flickr. And you can, on the left, choose commercial. If you have a business blog, make sure the license is set to commercial. And it helps you find images that you can use free as long as you attribute them to the blogger. And you can find some really neat images that way. Because it's a lot of people who aren't professional photographers just going out and capturing life around them. And those are some of the really cool photos that you can use to connect. So that's one place to look for photos. Video is not as hard as it sounds. Turn your webcam on and talk. And, you can always do another take if you need to.
That's scary.
It is scary. You just kind of got to jump in and try it. And audio. Audio is really easy. If you're scared by video, try audio. I need to do more audio, but you can go to cinchcast.com, I believe is the site that I use. And all you have to do is, when you sign up, they'll give you a phone number. You just call in and you can record right over the phone, and then it gives you a link you can add to your blog post, or you can embed code. So there are easy ways to do that. Another great way to share content that has high value is to share other people's great content. Remember, when you are blogging, it does not have to be you every day. It doesn't have to be everything from your brain. Now, we all have tons of stuff to share, and I'm sure that you could blog every day for a year, and I promise you would not run out of helpful things to share, but you might run out of energy at some point. I know, I can only write so many words in a day. So take advantage of how many options there are for sharing other people's great content. There are tons of videos on YouTube that are worth sharing. There are articles at Easy Articles and Self-Growth and other sites that you can get permission to share that would be helpful to your audience. So think about ways like that as well that you can share great content. Advance the slide here. Okay, so one thing I wanted to show real quick, I'm going to switch your view to my blog. I hope this is helpful. If you come up with any questions as I'm talking here, feel free to put them in the box.
Yeah,
and Flora will stop me and say, hey, hold on, and I can explain.
That's right.
You don't catch them. And I'm going to switch the view over to my blog here. Okay, in a moment it should pop up for you.
Yep.
And show you. This is, I'm on my post. I was behind the scenes checking the name of that plugin a minute ago. Show you on the right side of my blog here, what's got readers talking. We're talking about creating high value content. When your readers comment on your content, when they share it, when you're getting page views, that's how you know that you've hit something that they found valuable. It can be interesting sometimes. And even now, I've been blogging for several years, and I have a pretty good take on what my audience likes. But even now, once in a while, I'll put up a post that I really expect to do well. I think, hey, I nailed it with this one. And I don't get much of a response to it. I'm sitting here scratching my head going, okay. And then I'll put up another post that's kind of an off-the-cuff, I just wanted to share this, and I'll get a great response. So, it really is up to your readers what is high value to them, and it gets easier the longer you go. But here's the reason I wanted to bring this up is to show you over here on this side of my screen, it says, what's got readers talking? And below that, you can see these are the most commented on posts on my site. Here I've got a list style post, 10 things you can do in 10 minutes. Here I have a how-to. How to add your blog. Here's another one, how I got my Alexa ranking down. A question, are you rewarding blog commenters? Here's another tip one, 50 article or blog title ideas for you. Another tip one, top 10 reasons I haven't commented on your blog yet. And a question, I can borrow a copy of that, right? And as you go down through these, you can see they're all a couple different variations on the titles. They're either how-to, or they're the tips, like 6 ways to prevent visitors from sharing your website, or 51 ways to make your blog more awesome, or they're a question. So these are things that I've discovered are what my readers like, and what attracts their attention are those types of posts. And one thing you can do is go look at popular blogs in your niche, it's a very common thing for a blogger to have this type of thing in their sidebar of what's popular. So you can look around and see if you know that your ideal readers are also reading another particular blog. Go check out that blog and see what's popular on it. Do a little bit of research and see what's resonating well with their readers, because if you share ideal reader group, then those things may work well on your blog too. So
I have a question.
Trying to figure it out. Yes.
Michelle, is that a special plugin that you use to get that What's Got Readers Talking section?
That is a feature in the Genesis framework.
Okay.
If you're using Genesis themes,
Okay.
there's a special widget for it. However, if you don't have that, there's a couple different ways you can get it. One is with a plugin called PostRank.
Okay.
And if you just go to Plugins, Add New, and search for PostRank, I believe it's all one word.
Okay.
You can find that plugin. And that one actually is kind of cooler than what I've got, because it takes into account comments, page views, Twitter shares, and a few other things like that to decide what the most popular ones are. I have PageRank installed on my blog. It's just behind the scenes, so you can't see it. But I watch that because it gives you a score for each post from 1 to 10. And it's scoring your posts against each other, so you're not seeing your blog as compared to, you know, all the other blogs out there. You're seeing on your specific blog which content is working.
Okay.
So and that one is called PostRank.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Very cool plugin. Okay, I'm going to switch back over to the slide view. And in a minute that should pop up for you. The next slide is talking about creating valuable content again, is the anatomy of an awesome post. The reason I wanted to go over this is because one thing that I see a lot when I'm working with bloggers, and this may apply to you as well, is that your content is absolutely fabulous. You are sharing great stuff, but you're not getting great feedback. You're not getting, and I mean feedback in the sense of comments and shares. People aren't interacting with it. And a lot of times it's not your content that's a problem. I see bloggers get very self-conscious and worry that what they're sharing isn't good enough, when really that's not the problem at all. It's just that they haven't figured out a few of these little tweaks, little tiny things that you need to change to be able to get people to respond and share your content. So let's start with your headline. Your headline is the most important piece of content when you write a blog post, because if the headline doesn't grab people's attention, they're not going to read the post. So you might have a fantastic post, but if you haven't put some time into the headline, you're not going to get a whole lot of views on that post, because people don't know how good your content is unless you catch them with that headline. So some tips, and again, if you think about the headlines I just went over on my blog that worked, numbers and tips. Over, I think it's like half of my most popular blogs, when I look at the top 20 or 30, had a number in the headline. 10 ways to do this. 5 reasons you shouldn't do this. Numbers and tips work. Power words, that is, you know, strong action words, verbs, or very descriptive adjectives. The words that catch your attention. Word plays. Have you seen, especially on Twitter this works well, where people will make a play on a certain phrase or something in pop culture, or, you know, something that is in the news. If you can find a way to tie your blog post into that, that can work well as a headline. Putting in emotions and benefits. If you can tell somebody right in the headline, here's what you get from reading this, that's going to entice them to open the post, like I did 10 ways to move your business forward in 10 minutes or less. That tells somebody immediately what the benefit of reading that post would be. Now, I could have called that, here's ways to boost your business, or I could have said 10 ways to market your business. But that's not going to get the same reaction as, here's 10 ways to boost your business or move your business forward in 10 minutes or less. Because I'm telling them right in the title, I'm going to give you 10 ways, and they're all quick and simple. Okay? So see if you can get your benefits in your title. And then the last one is curiosity. You noticed quite a few of those posts that I had on there had a question as a headline. That can work very well, because you ask someone a question, they read that question immediately, they start thinking of their answer, right? It's human nature. When we're asked a question, we want to answer it. And so if you can pique people's curiosity, you can get them to click through. A headline is really important. That was one of the keys I discovered that was holding my blog back was I wrote terrible headlines. I mean, really bad. They were boring. They were not at all attention-grabbing. And this is something I've really been working on for, well, the last year and a half to be able to get my headlines better. A couple of resources for this are headlinehacks.com, which gives away a free PDF. It's, I believe it's from one of the guys behind Copyblogger.
Right, right.
And that's a fantastic resource for templates for headlines, which make it a lot easier because you can just read down through the list and figure out which one would apply to what you've written, and it'll help you spice up your headlines. So headlinehacks.com is a good one.
I think that's something we, Michelle, I think that's something we all are going to be working on forever. I don't think we've finished working on that.
You know, headlines are like blogging. It's a continual learning process.
That's right.
The next important thing is to have a good opening. When people do click over to your post, you want to try to draw them in even more. You know, I mentioned how questions can draw people in. Open your post with a question, and it helps people naturally want to keep reading your content. You can use a good quote. You can use statistics. That's a great way. I did one a while back where I made up the statistic completely. I said only 1% of blog posts were really awesome. And then I said this is a made-up statistic, but it worked. People came in and read the post. Also starting with stories. If you are one of those people who is a naturally good storyteller, leverage that in your writing. Because if you can start with a story that draws someone in and connects with them emotionally, that's a great way to catch their attention. Some tips for content that you always want to make sure your content delivers on whatever your headline was. So you do want to be careful that you don't go too far into sensationalizing your headline to where people come and they read it and they go, wait, you didn't tell me. I saw that on a big blog recently. They had, you know, a headline was, I forget now, it was 10 something they had used for an example. And then when you went into the post, they didn't really give you any. And the comment section was just an explosion of people going, hey, you didn't give us 10. You didn't give us an answer. So you want to make sure that you deliver on whatever your headline was, or you may have readers that are a little less than happy with you.
That's the downside of the comments, huh?
Yes, people will give you feedback.
They will.
But you want to make sure that you deliver on your promise for that reason. And you want to make sure your content's easy to digest. So some ways you can do that is break up your text. Use subheadlines, use bullets and lists, put in those images, use short paragraphs. Writing for the web is very different from writing a term paper or a book report or your thesis, anything that you've done as far as, you know, all the way from elementary school through college, you're taught to write professionally, which works great for those situations. But when you're writing for the web, you need to use short sentences, short paragraphs, and keep it easy for people to read. Multimedia elements, mentioned that already. Throw in images, audio, video. And at the end of your post, this is another very important thing that I see a lot of people with great content aren't sure how to do, and that is to put a call to action at the end of it. Your call to action might be that you want someone to leave a comment. So what can you do to encourage that? Ask them a question. Ask a question at the end of your post that makes it easy for them to leave you a comment. Because sometimes we'll read a post and we think, hey, that's awesome. That was a great post. I learned something. But you're not sure what to leave as a comment. And if at the end of the post the blogger says, what would you add to this list? Or which of these tips was most helpful for you? It gives you an easy jumping off point that you can share your feedback with them and your thoughts in a comment. So keep that in mind when you're writing. If you want to get comments, ask your readers questions. It will help them know what to comment about. Your call to action might be that you're encouraging them to follow a link. I posted something earlier today about the Rise to the Top show for entrepreneurs, and the call to action for that post, so to speak, would be, I want people to follow that link and go check out the show because it's really inspirational. So that might be a goal that you have. It might be that you want them to subscribe to your RSS feed. If that's what you're wanting people to do, you need to tell them that. Invite them to subscribe. Your readers are not mind readers, and their perspective and their place that they're in their brains when they're reading your post is very different from where you are when you're looking at your blog and going, why aren't they subscribing? Well, did you invite them to? And not just with a little opt-in box, but in your post did you say, hey, if you liked this, subscribe to my RSS feed. It may be that you want them to make a purchase or implement or do something. Keep in mind what it is that you want their action to be from that post, their takeaway, and encourage them to do that. If you take these 5 things and apply these to the content that you're already writing, you're going to get better results from what you're sharing on your blog.
Wow. Michelle, I want to take a moment to ask the attendees to chime in and let us know if this content is giving them value. I want to hear that this is resonating with someone. So would you type into your chat box or question box, yes, this is resonating with me, or I get it, or this is valuable? We like to know that, because
yes,
I'm getting value from it already. Even though I'm an experienced blogger, you're reminding me of some things that I need to continually do. So let us know if we're hitting home. Is this making sense? Is this valuable to you? Let me hear from you.
And if you've got questions, let me know too, because I'm happy to stop and answer those as we go through this.
That's right.
Just chime in, let us know.
Yes.
We won't give away your name if you don't want us to. You can be anonymous.
Wow, I see over here, Michelle. Absolutely. Thank you so much. These tips are simple and easy to implement. So true. So true. Thank you so much for that comment. Okay, Michelle, now how do you know?
Okay, yes, we've just been talking about how to create high-value content. Your readers will tell you when you've done it, and how they will do that is post views. I want you to always remember this, especially when you're just starting out. Just because you don't get comments does not mean that no one is reading your blog, okay? There may be people reading silently. There are a lot of people who don't comment very often, or who are afraid to be the first one to comment. Not everybody, but some people are like that. And so you may have people reading that just aren't commenting. That's why it's important to track your post views and see if you're getting traffic to your post. I'll tip on a plugin for this. There's a plugin called Jetpack, all one word, Jetpack, that you can install that will help you track your statistics. And it will show you how many unique views you're getting of posts on your blog and pages. It'll show you where those views are coming from, which is helpful because you can see if your social media efforts are paying off, or guest posting, or whatever else you're doing to promote your blog. So make sure that you have a way to see whether people are viewing your post, because you may be getting a lot of page views and you just don't realize it. Okay. So another way is comments. Of course, when you're getting comments, you know that that's hitting home with someone enough to motivate them to take time to comment. Tweets, Facebook shares, and private emails. When you have posts, especially if they are more of a personal connection type post, you will get private emails when you've connected with people. There are some posts on my blog that have been pretty popular, but you might not know from looking at it because people sent me their feedback privately. And so that's something to keep in mind too, is that you may get feedback in non-visible ways. And that's awesome, because any feedback is helpful in knowing when you've connected and created something that's valuable. And as you start to get more feedback and start to see what's working, then it makes it easier to create more valuable content. Okay, so there's some tips on valuable content, and we're going to go to driving more traffic to your sites. So if you've got any questions about content, you can pop them in the box and go ahead and get started here on drawing more traffic to your site.
Okay, yeah, one person, this isn't a question, but someone said, great tips. Why didn't I think about pitching my products at the end of a post?
You know, it is really, really common for bloggers not to think about that. It's just we get in the writing mode, I think. I know I forget to do that sometimes too. I actually have a checklist that I keep next to my computer now, and it looks very much like that anatomy of a blog post slide, where before I publish, I go through and I make sure I stop myself and say, wait, what is the point of this post? What am I going to encourage people to do? So that I can make sure I've done that. I've even been guilty. Here's the terrible confession. I've been guilty of blogging about a product or service I offer and not telling people how to get it. And I've had people go, okay, yeah, I would love this free download you're offering, but where do I go to find it? Yeah. So you're not alone. That's one of those things you just, once you think about it,
live
you
and
can
learn.
do it.
That's right.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about how to get more traffic to your blog, because now we've talked about taking the content you've got, figuring out how to package it so that it's valuable, because that's really one of the keys, is that whatever content you're offering, you just got to package it right. Okay, so think about it. You're wrapping it up and putting a pretty bow on it. Now it's ready, and you want to get people to your blog that you can give this gift to of the content you've created. So are you looking for and ready for traffic? What kind of traffic are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Get to know your ideal reader. Let's talk about that for a minute. First, you want to make sure your blog is ready before you start driving traffic. This is another mistake I see people make. They get out there and they're working so hard to get traffic back to their site. They're doing all the things you're supposed to do, you know, share on Twitter, share on Facebook, guest blog post, article marketing, and they're getting traffic back to their blog, but the traffic isn't sticking around or it's not engaging. And that's because you've got to get some foundational pieces in place first. You need to make sure your blog is what I call sticky. Okay? You want it to be easy to navigate. You want it to draw people in. And you want it to be easy to comment. A lot of blogs that aren't getting comments, it's because they've made it very difficult to comment. Not intentionally, but just because they're not looking at it from the commenter side. How many of us have logged out of our blogs, gone to a post, and tried to comment like a new user? If you've never done that, I encourage you to try it. You might be surprised at, by default, what barriers there are that are stopping people from commenting. A lot of blogs, the blogger doesn't realize that they're requiring users to register or to log in or to jump through all these hoops. And I know spam's a problem. I know spam is really, really frustrating, but I am not going to drive away comments just so that I can stop spam on my blog. I don't have a CAPTCHA on my blog, partially because I can't read those things. They drive me bananas. But partially because I have tested them, and yes, they do stop spam, but they also really, really reduce the number of comments I get, even when traffic is steady. So you want to look at how you can make it easy for people to comment.
I want to ask a question about that.
Sure.
Could I pop in? If you make it easy for people to comment, and let's say you do get a spam commenter, isn't it easy enough for the owner of the blog to delete that?
It is.
Okay.
It's easy to just click delete.
Okay.
It's
That's what I thought.
And at some point, you do get to the point where, I mean, I get, I probably have 600 spam right now in my spam folder on my blog because I haven't gone through it in a day or two, and a lot of spam hits my blog. And it can be kind of annoying, but there are some plugins you can put in place to help you deal with that.
Right.
There's one called Anti-CAPTCHA. That it's technical how it works, but if you want something that's not going to anger your possible commenters, check that one out. It's called Anti-CAPTCHA.
How do you spell that? A-N-T-I?
A-N-T-I hyphen CAPTCHA, C-A-P-T-C-H-A, I believe.
Okay, Anti-CAPTCHA. Okay, got it.
And there's also GASP, G-A-S-P. You've probably seen this one on blogs. Right now it's on my blog. I would love to turn it off because it's an extra step for people when they're leaving a comment. They have to check a box. But when I turned that off, I got so much spam that it was hundreds of spams an hour were hitting my blog.
Oh.
So it really does stop spam. Yeah, it was bad. My server was not happy. But that's another one that you can look at.
Okay.
And again, it's a balance. You've just got to find the balance that works for you between these anti-spam measures and still getting comments. Let's see. I need to speed it up here. Okay. Encouraging return visits. You want to encourage people to come back, okay? Because you don't want people to come by your blog once, bounce away, and never show up again, right? Make it easy for them. Offer FeedBurner subscribe by email and offer RSS subscriptions. Give them the option to subscribe to your newsletter if you've got one. And you can also encourage return visits by asking questions to keep your readers talking. I've noted on the slide here there's a plugin called Subscribe to Comments Reloaded. If you've been to my blog and left a comment, you see where there's that checkbox. You can say, notify me of follow-up comments or notify me of replies to my comment. That's Subscribe to Comments Reloaded. And what it does is it allows your commenter to say, yes, I want you to email me if someone else comments on this post or if someone comments in reply to my comment. And that can help you get your readers back to keep talking with you. The other tip I want to give you is notice what grabs your attention at blogs. And I'll throw this out there. If you want to be a good blogger, you have got to be reading good blogs.
True.
You can't skip that. You need to spend a little bit of time, invest that time, looking at what blogs are doing well, what's working. This doesn't necessarily have to be in your niche. Most of the blogs I read aren't necessarily in my specific niche. They're more related to what I want to learn right now. And that's valuable, though, because you can see what is it that grabbed your attention about the blog and keeps you going back. Next time you stop and subscribe to a blog, take a minute and figure out what was it that got you to subscribe. When you do that, then you can think about that and implement it on your own blog. Figure out how you can put those same motivational pieces in place for your blog that you see working for you. So if you see a blog that grabbed your attention and you keep going back to it, figure out why. Implement that on your blog. Okay, so some ways quickly that you can drive traffic to your blog. There are hundreds of ways to drive traffic to your blog. Flora knows, she's seen my mind map on traffic. There are lots of options.
Yes.
But my advice would be start simple and then expand. Start with just 2 or 3 or 4 things, whatever feels doable to you. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed thinking you've got to be on every social network out there. You don't. Start with what is easy for you to do, what you can handle, and then expand from there. You can automate some of your promotion. These are what I'm using to automate mine. On Facebook, I use networkblogs.com. And again, if you go to my blog, there's a step-by-step on how you can set that up. It's a very popular post. On Twitter, I use the Twitter Tools plugin. The reason I use that one is it lets you decide what hashtags you want attached to your post when you tweet it. So if you're on Twitter, look at that one. On LinkedIn, there's a blog link tool that you can add to your profile. Another thing that's automated that's already set up in WordPress is that it pings when you post. It'll send out a ping to different services and let them know, just this little message, hey, there's something new. You want to make it easy for others to share. Don't put the burden of driving traffic to your site all on yourself. Let your readers help you. You can install plugins like the ones listed here on the slide. Test out some different plugins, see which ones you like, see which ones work for you. I like Sexy Bookmarks because it's fun. When you touch it, it bounces. I like things that move. I also like DigDig. That's the one that's on the left side of my blog, and it moves as you scroll down the page. Those sharing buttons stay right there, very visible. But there's lots of options. I don't care which one you use as long as you use one of these or 2 of these and get it on your blog so that you can easily let your visitors share. Offer subscription options. We talked about that. Network with other bloggers. Comment on their blogs. Join blogging groups, blogging challenges. What really launched my blog, one of the best things that I ever did, was to join a blogging challenge. And it's been almost 2 years since I joined a blogging challenge as a participant. And that really helped me to figure out this blogging thing. It forced me to write more and to get to know other bloggers. So I really, really highly recommend that. You can join mine if you want. I co-host the Ultimate Blog Challenge, ultimateblogchallenge.com.
When does that have a start date, the Ultimate Blog Challenge? When do you enter it?
It does. We started on January 1st, and it runs for 31 days through the end of January, and then it runs again every 3rd month. So January, April, May, June, July, and October. But even between the challenges, the Facebook group is really active. So if you're looking for somewhere to share your posts and promote your posts, go join it. If you just search on Facebook for Ultimate Blog Challenge, it will come up. And it is specifically for the purpose of sharing your latest blog post. So you're not spamming if you come and share that with us. It's what we want you to do there. So join us there. It's open between challenges too. Guest blogging, another great way to drive traffic. You can exchange posts with people, invite them to guest blog, be a guest blogger on their blog, get listed in blog directories, post on forums related to your topic, repurpose your content. I'm going fast because we're getting close to the top of the hour here.
That's right.
There are just so many ways that you can drive traffic to your blog. Okay.
Could I remind the attendees that the slides are part of their downloads. So afterwards you can get the downloads and you'll get all of these slides in there. And also the handout has information on it. And as Michelle has been sharing various things, even if they weren't on the handout, I've been typing them into the chat room so that you can go there and get them.
Thank you for doing that, Flora.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I will try to get through these last couple of slides quick here and let you go. But be consistent. If there is one thing that has really helped build my blog as far as this sentence isn't going to make sense. As far as a consistent action that I have taken, it is being consistent.
It made
Blogging
sense.
has to be a habit. It really does. And promoting your blog has to be a habit too. You can see the photo on the slide, brushing your teeth 3 times a day. It's a habit, right? You know before you go to bed, you're going to stop and brush your teeth. Blogging has to be the same way. It needs to be something that you make a habit. There are some easy ways that you can do that. You can use an editorial calendar. This is what I do. I sit down at the beginning of the month and I print off a calendar that's got, a box for each day, just a free calendar. I just search in Google usually and pull one up. And then I figure out, what am I going to blog about? Take into account how many times you want to blog. During challenges, I try to blog every day. Otherwise, I probably blog 4 to 5 times a week. You don't have to blog that much though, so don't let that stop you. I tell people to aim for 2 to 4 posts a week. Somewhere in there is good, 3 to 4. That's enough content that you've always got something to share. The search engines are finding new content, but you're not driving yourself crazy. You can blog every day if you want. That's awesome, but don't feel like you have to, is what I'm saying. So print out that calendar and figure out, what do you want to blog about? When I look at my calendar, I start with, do I have any promotions that I want to share? Am I launching a class? Am I doing a webinar? Am I speaking in something that I want to promote on my blog? What am I doing? Do I have a new product coming out? Do I have a new freebie I'm going to be offering? Put those things on your calendar first so that you don't forget to blog about them. And then I look at holidays. Are there any holidays coming up that either I need to be aware of because I won't be available to blog that day, or that I'll be out of town, or celebrating with family? Or are there any holidays that I can tie into my business, that I want to run a promotion, or that I want to tie something into specifically to a certain holiday, that you're going to blog about those things? I put those on my calendar. And then I look at what's left. So after I've done my promotions and holidays, I say, okay, well, here's the week that I don't have anything going on. If you've got a whole week, that's a great time to think of a series. And if you're blogging every day, it can be a 5 or 6 post series. If you're blogging a couple times, it might be a 3 post series where you can figure out tips on a certain topic to share. And once you brainstorm that out, you sit down once a month and do that. It will make your blogging so much easier because you're not struggling every time you sit down to figure out what to share. So that's one thing that I do that has made blogging a lot easier and less stressful for me because I've got a plan for it. And then the other side of this is to have a promotional plan that you know once you hit publish on your post, what are you going to do to get that post out there? I know that when I hit publish, I have 5 or 6 things that I'm going to go do. I'm going to make sure that my Twitter tweet did work. I'm going to go share in a couple of Facebook groups. I'm going to stumble my post most times. I may email a couple friends or colleagues and say, hey, I would love if you'd come give me your feedback on this. I don't do that every post, but sometimes I do, and that can be a great way to encourage interaction. Certain posts that I write, I have in mind which bloggers I'm going to go leave a comment on their blog so that I can get a link back to my latest post. Now, that's not the only reason I comment, but it is part of the strategy. And then I have, am I going to feature it in my newsletter? Am I going to repurpose it into something else? I have those things in mind when I'm blogging so that I know I will take those actions when I finish the post. It makes it easier to promote because you don't have to figure out, okay, what do I do now? So figure out your plan and be consistent with it.
Could I jump in and make a comment,
yes.
Michelle, real quick while you're on this?
Sure.
When you're commenting on other people's blogs, don't forget that the link that you put in there to, they ask for your URL, can be the link to your blog. And it will be live so that when you leave a comment, just the mere fact that you leave a comment, they will be able to see many of them have where you can see the person's last blog post and then click and go back to that commenter's blog. So that's a great feature, and it makes it even more worthwhile to comment on other blogs.
It does, and I flipped the view over to show you what Flora's talking about here. You can see on my screen, this is a blog that I posted earlier today, and you can see here's a comment, and this right here, her name is linked to her blog. That's by default in WordPress. That's all set up. You don't have to do anything for that. Right here, you can see she gets a link to her Twitter. That is built into Comment Love Premium. And then down here, this one is a post that she's chosen she wanted to share. And that's the plugin called Comment Love. There are 2 versions of it, free and premium. I recommend you install one of them. and pick which one works for you, get it on your blog, because every time someone leaves you a comment, if they have a blog, you can see here all these links showing up with each comment to their most recent blog post. And when you go to comment on blogs, look for that, because when you've got that, you are going to get more comments. Bloggers love to be able to promote their last post. So that's one thing to look at, is the Comment Love plugin. Okay, I'm going to flick over to my PowerPoint. It is just now 4 o'clock. Flora, do we have time to go into
Oh, yes, we have time.
part?
As long as the attendees are willing to listen on this last part, if you can hang around, we would so appreciate it. So is it okay that we share with you the rest of this slide, how a blog can increase profits? Say yes and let us know. I think you're going to want to do that.
I think we're getting to the good part, right?
Yeah, someone said, hey, I'm hanging on until you're done. Yes.
Okay.
Done. Yes,
awesome.
yes. Okay, so let's go.
Okay. So I will go into how a blog can increase your profits. So you can see on the slide there's a bunch of different ways. There are way more ways even than this, but I try to kind of narrow it down so it would fit on one slide. If you are blogging already for business, the obvious way that a blog can increase your profit is that it will build your existing business. So it's attracting traffic, which means you've got more potential clients reading your stuff and seeing that you are an authority, you have expertise to share on your topic. You are building authority, which means it's not just attracting clients directly to you, but it gives you opportunities for things like speaking, getting invited to teleseminars and webinars, and to guest blog on other blogs. These opportunities happen when you are blogging regularly and building your authority with it. And that helps build your business, makes it build your credibility. It also is great for feedback and interaction. You can find out what your market wants. Blogging is a very low-risk way to find out what your target market is interested in. And this is something that I've done on my blog. I do pretty frequently. Sometimes you will see me post something that may not seem like it is in my normal range of topics. And when I do that, usually I am testing the waters to see if it's something my audience is interested in. Instead of going out and writing an ebook or creating an info product or doing a teleseminar, I write a blog post and I see, is there interest in this topic? If I get a good response to it, that's immediate feedback letting me know, hey, I should explore this more. If it falls flat, then I know after, the half hour that I put into the blog post, by all means, do not spend 5 hours creating a product around this or 30 hours creating a product, because my market's not interested in it right now. So it's another way that a blog can be helpful in your business, is it lets you test out things like that without investing a ton of time in it and finding that it flopped, which is one of the mistakes I made with info products when I first started, but that's another call. So it gives you a way to test things out. So moving to the next one, advertising is a way that you can increase profits with your blog. There are a lot of different options here. You can put banner ads on your blog. You can offer text ads. You can offer paid posts. You can do ads in your eZine or your RSS feed. These are all different ways that you can allow advertising. And you can do that without feeling like you have sold your blog. You are in charge of your blog. That means you are allowed to say, yes, I accept advertising, but here are my standards. Here's what's a good fit for my audience, and I reserve the right to say no. Okay, so don't let this scare you in thinking that whoever's interested in an ad you have to say yes to. I do have some ads, I think. Do I have ads on my blog right now? Sometimes I have affiliate ads on my blog. And actually I just opened up the opportunity today to put banner ads on there. I'm going to test that out myself. But these are some options. You can put ads in your eZine, and I see I've spelled ads wrong on that slide. That should be ADS, sorry, or your RSS feed. If you have an RSS feed, that's one place that you can add a promotional ad, and you can sell that spot. You can say, here's how many subscribers I've got. If you want to buy an ad in my RSS feed footer for a month, here's what it'll cost you, and find somebody that's a good fit for that. When you're looking at increasing profits with advertising, the other thing to keep in mind is you can also increase profits not directly by selling advertising, but by swapping ads with someone else that has a similar market to you. Think of your colleagues who you've done JVs or offered different promotions together. If you love their stuff, they love your stuff, figure out how you can swap advertising on your blog. You will both draw more readers that way. If you want to do something with your RSS feed, I should mention there is a plugin called Tense Blogger RSS Footer, I believe it is. It's the second most recent post on my blog. You can find a link to that one. It lets you modify your RSS feed so that you can add things into it. I use it to put a copyright at the bottom of my main feed, and I use it to put a freebie in a feed on another site that I've got. So when someone subscribes to my RSS feed, they get a reward. But you can also use it to put advertising in there or to promote your own products because, again, advertise for yourself. You are putting time and energy into blogging. That is your blog. You are allowed to promote yourself with it. Okay,
tell us your blog. I'll post that over in the chat. What's your blog URL for people who didn't know?
MichelleSchaefer.com or
All
the
right.
other one?
The one where you just mentioned the RSS feed instructions.
Oh, okay. MichelleSchaefer.com
okay.
is my main blog, and that one, the second to last post, if you see a little Lego Ninja, that's the post you're looking for.
Okay.
That one talks about some really cool plugins for WordPress.
Okay.
When you subscribe to that RSS feed, you will see at the bottom I have a very obvious copyright notice that says my content is copyright me. Please don't reprint it without permission. And that's because people were scraping my RSS feed and putting it on sites that I didn't want anything to do with. So I put a copyright notice up. But another site that I've got is dailybloggingideas.com. And if you subscribe to that RSS feed, you'll see at the bottom of each email when it goes out, there's a link to a freebie. So you can give away a freebie for RSS subscribers by using this plugin. So a couple of things, fun things you can do. All sorts of fun things you can do with a blog.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Next thing, affiliate marketing. This is one that has worked really well for me. And you can do affiliate marketing different ways. If you're not familiar with the term, what it means is basically there are products out there that are looking for buyers, right? If you are willing to help them advertise, they will give you a commission on each sale you make for them. So if you can find a product that is the right fit for you, that means it's something that you can comfortably recommend, you've tried it, you know it works, or you have faith in the service provider, and it's something that your audience would be interested in, then it's a good fit to promote. You want to make sure those two things are in place, though. I promote different things on my blog, like Genesis themes. I mentioned the Genesis framework earlier. I'm an affiliate for that. I would promote it even if there wasn't an affiliate program because I love their themes. I'm also an affiliate for Scribe by Copyblogger and Premise, and there's a whole list of things that I'm signed up as an affiliate for. And it's things that my target readers are interested in, that they're looking for those types of services, and I can share that with them. And if they choose to purchase, then I make a commission on that. One thing to know, if you choose to do affiliate marketing, you do have to have a disclosure on your blog that says you may be compensated if someone buys from a link. Very, very important, especially if you are US-based. The FTC does require that. You can get into trouble without that, so I'm just going to throw that out there. If you need a model, you can look at my blog. Bottom of the right side column, I have a little disclosure in there. It just says some of the things I recommend I'm an affiliate for. I might make a commission if you buy them. I forget how I worded it, but you're welcome to model that. But the main thing is you just need to let people know that you are promoting some things as an affiliate. You can put banner ads on your site. If you go to my post that says 51 ways to explode your blog's awesomeness, I think is the title, you can see what I've done with that post is I went through and I put some banner ads just kind of interspersed through the tips. That post, after it went live, I made several $100s in affiliate commissions from. So that's one option, is to put banner ads on there. You can do review posts. I do this sometimes where I will share my review of a product, and I'll say, this is what works, this is what I wasn't crazy about, this is what I loved, share an honest review of it, and then put the affiliate link if it's something that you're promoting. You can create a resources page, and on it put 10 things that you found helpful that you recommend. Put a picture of the product, put a little blurb about why you like it, and then your affiliate link. And put together a resource page for your visitors. You can also give away free reports. If you've got a freebie that you're offering when people opt into your newsletter, you can put affiliate links in that and promote different things that fit in with your content. So affiliate marketing is another one, is to offer virtual or physical products. Some examples of that would be ebooks or print books, audio downloads, teleseminars, webinars, video series, workshops, or e-courses. These are all things that you can create and sell with your blog. Your
Could
blog
I
is
pop
giving you
in,
a
Michelle?
platform that you can use to share those things.
I just want
Absolutely.
to pop in and let attendees know that even though we're running a little over, Michelle has a very special offer for you in just a moment. So those of you who can hang around are going to get to take advantage of it. I just want to warn you of coming attractions. Okay, Michelle.
Coming attractions, I like
Yes.
that. We have secrets we're keeping. Another option, which this one works better once you get some traffic going to your blog. I will be honest with you about that. It's something that you do need to have some significant traffic to pull off, but that is building a community or continuity program. That would be forums, paid communities, premium content, weekly and monthly coaching clubs. Now, if you're already in coaching, then this may already be working for you, but if you're starting from scratch, you want to build up a readership to be able to make these work. These are a great source, though, of a steady income if you can enroll people in a membership program and keep them connected to each other and interacting, and you deliver special content through that. Another way to make some money from your blog, I'm subscribed to quite a few different continuity programs like that I find very helpful in my business. Okay, another option for increasing your profits is you can offer your services through your blog, because your blog is giving you a platform as an expert. You can offer coaching, consulting, training, speaking. There are lots of different things that you can do once you have established through your blog what you are an expert at and what you can share with other people and help them with. So that's just kind of an overview of some of your options. And again, this is like traffic. You do not have to do every one of these. I don't do half the things on this slide, but they're all options that you can figure out which ones will work well for you. Because you'll find as you experiment with these, some of them will work better than others. And that's just kind of part of the learning curve you go through when you are blogging, is figure out what works. I did not list AdSense on this slide. I just realized. I should have had AdSense on here. That is another way that you can make money from your blog under advertising. AdSense is definitely an option depending on what you are blogging about. So those are a few of the things you can do to increase your profits. So moving to the next slide here, to kind of sum this up, what you got to remember is, if you're thinking of it like a pyramid, the foundation of that is to offer your readers valuable content. Start there. Make sure that you are sharing something helpful. It's what they want to know, what they need help with, and then that you're packaging it attractively. Wrap it up like the present with the big bow. Write the good headlines, put the images in there. If this feels overwhelming, then blog fewer times but make it better. If you're blogging 3 or 4 times a week and it just sounds like too much to try to take extra time for headlines and images, then cut back the blogging. It's better to deliver something valuable and well done less frequently, because you're going to get better results out of it. Okay? When people ask me, it's usually as often as you have something helpful to share. And that sounds really cliche or trite, but it really is true. But build a foundation of valuable content. From there, you want to attract and drive traffic. Okay, there's 2 parts of that. There's the attraction of traffic, which means it's coming to you from the search engines, from other people sharing, and that will happen naturally when you're sharing good content. But you also want to be driving traffic to your site. That means you out there guest posting, sharing articles, writing your e-zine, sharing on social networks. You got to get active. Let people know your blog is there. And then, once you've got that in place, you will find that monetizing your blog is easier, and it does work. So 3 steps. And, are we ready to go to the invitation?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Did we have any questions before we jump into that?
I don't see any just yet.
Okay.
So
I hope I have not thrown too much information at you here. As Flora mentioned, these slides are available for you as a download. There's also a worksheet that goes along with this presentation to help you apply it, because I know my tendency when I listen to a webinar, especially if there's a lot of information, is I think, oh, that was great, and then sometimes I don't take action on it. So I want you to not let this be a wasted hour that you've spent with us. Print out that worksheet. It will help you to put some of these things in place and help you remember them as you work on your blog, so that you can really get results. And like we said, use these quick and easy tips to drive traffic, deliver high value, and make more money with your blog.
Thank you. I put the link in the chat room for those people who may have missed getting it in their email to the handouts.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that again. Okay, well, you can see the slide has changed on the screen. This is the offer that Flora spoke about a minute ago. I have a special invitation for you. I'm getting ready to run through my Launch Your Blog class. I ran this last fall. I got great feedback on it, and we had a wonderful time. Flora was in the class.
I was.
Yes, and we had all sorts of fun going over way, way, way more content than I could share with you today.
I'm telling you.
About how to really get your blog working. What I do is I run through what I discovered I was doing wrong and how I fixed it. And there's 6 weekly classes. There's 6 modules to it. We go through the foundational stuff, things like, what does need to be in place in WordPress? What do you need to have set up to get your blog ready for search engines to like you, to get traffic, to make your blog sticky? We talk about where to find audio and where to find video. I've got info on where you can find infographics and statistics and all sorts of those kind of little goodies that you want to be able to use for your blog. We go over how to create a content plan. And I share with you how I brainstorm my content ideas. I gave you some tips earlier on just a few ways you can do that. There are a lot more ways that you can make it easy to come up with topics to write about so that you're never stuck with that, I don't know what to write about next. We go over how to build a community. How do you get people to comment on your blog? There is a psychology behind it, and once you understand what motivates people to comment and what motivates them to share, it's a lot easier to make that happen because you know what you need to do to get people motivated to help you share your content and to leave you comments. We're also going to go over driving traffic. I mentioned my mind map. I have a mind map I share. I've actually added quite a few more things to it since I shared it last course. And there are more than 100 ways to drive traffic. And one thing that I do in this class is I don't just say, here's a strategy, but I give you the links and I give you the resources you need so that you can actually do it. I don't know about you, but it drives me crazy when people share the why you should do this, but they don't tell you how or where to go to do that. So I try very hard to make sure that I am showing you exactly how to implement the stuff that I'm teaching. And then the last module is how to stand out and get noticed with your blog. What do you need to do to get noticed as an expert, as an authority on your subject? So there are 6 modules for the class. Each one is available on Monday for you to watch, and then weekly on Fridays we have an open Q&A call, which is just me sitting here and answering whatever questions the class has.
That was valuable. That was very valuable.
Yeah, I really had fun delivering that part of it because sometimes the questions weren't even necessarily related to the content, but they were things that bloggers wanted to know. So if you've ever felt like you've got questions that you just haven't been able to find the answer to, this is a great opportunity because it will let you get not just the content, but also the specifics. You can ask me, this is my blog topic, how can I apply this? And we go into that. And then, of course, I have lots of bonus resources and goodies because I love to give away lots of goodies.
Yes, you do. Thank you.
I like to share things like that and really try to pack as much value into it as I can. And the special thing that I wanted to offer to those who are listening to this call now is if you are interested in this course and you sign up after this call, in addition to everything listed on the slide and listed on the sales page, I'm going to open the sales page here so that you can see it. For the first 5 people who do sign up for this class, I want to give you the opportunity to get on the phone or to get on the web with me for an hour, and we can go over your blog. I can help you specifically. What can you improve on your blog? What plugins maybe are you missing? Or what can you move around in your sidebar or change in your theme to get better results? How can you apply better headlines to your content? We can brainstorm headlines for content you've got. You can ask me whatever questions you've got about the topics that I can share with you, and that's not going to be, I'm not a business coach, but I can help you with the technical stuff. I can help you with what plugins will do what you want. I can help you get e-commerce set up. I can help you with, if you've read my blog, you know the range of topics, social networking, automating, that kind of stuff. I can help you create a content plan or a promotion plan. But basically, if you sign up today, we will schedule an hour, and you can choose whether it's before the class, during the class, or after the class. I will leave that up to you when you need that. But if you want to get a quicker start, you can schedule it before the class, and we can dive right in and get some of your biggest questions answered so that you can right away start getting results from your investment in the class.
So, Michelle, I want to clarify. So this is a special offer to do a customized review of someone's blog. This is in addition to the class and in addition to the Q&A. This is just a one-on-one.
This is a one-on-one. It's a
okay.
private session. So when you purchase today, I will shoot you an email and we will figure out a time that works just for the two of us.
All right.
So that, you know, because sometimes there's questions that you might not want me to review your blog in front of everyone in the class. You might be okay with that. You like the promo. But you might want to ask some questions privately too. You know, how can you fix a specific problem you're struggling with? And so we can go over that. And this isn't something that I offer on my website. If you've been to my website, you know I don't offer private coaching or consulting.
No.
I work with right now exactly 4 clients on a steady basis. That's it. Because I have a pretty busy schedule. I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm in business because I want to be here for my family. You might be working from home for the same reason. And so this isn't something I offer very often, but this is a special offer. It's only available through this call that I'm doing with Flora today. I'm not offering it to my e-zine list or anyone else. So you're special if you're listening and you have an opportunity to get inside my brain and pick my brain for a little bit here.
Can you scroll down on that page so they can see the investment?
Yes. So this is a special page. You want to go to launchyourblog.com/Flora so that I know you came through this link and you get this special offer. So if you feel like the woman on the top left, you know, you got the headache, you're just, you can change that and be confident, excited, and proud of your blog because I understand that feeling. I was there and I figured out how to fix it.
The woman on the right.
Yes, the woman
with the red hair.
Yes. We want to transform you to the other one.
That's right.
You do not have to change your hair.
That's right.
We'll just transform your blog. But again, this page goes into detail, and you can see I've got testimonials on there from Flora. You can see Flora. And I've got testimonials on there from others who were in the class and which parts were helpful for them. And there's also a more detailed description of what it is that we go over in this course. So you can get more detail. I just gave a very quick outline a minute ago. But as it says right there, why am I sharing this and spilling my secrets to blogging success? It's because I have spent more hours than I can count trying to figure this out for myself. And I don't want you to have to go through that same learning curve and, to be honest, more than a few tears here and there.
Yes.
Why isn't this working? I can save you from that and help you to get your blog working for you. And there's my photo again, scrolling down a little more. You can see all the details of the class. If you have any questions about how the class works or, you know, any questions at all, you can shoot me an email. If you want the perspective of someone other than me, you're welcome to ask Flora questions. She was in the class the last time I taught it.
And I will be in the next one, too.
Yes, that is a bonus I forgot to mention on the sales page, actually, is that once you've enrolled in this class, I am going to be teaching this on a pretty consistent basis throughout the year. I'm going to teach it several more times. And once you're enrolled, you get to come to the future classes free. Which means you get these 6 classes and the 6 Q&As, but everybody that was in the class last time also gets to come back, listen to the class content again, be present for the Q&As so that you can continue getting that support.
I didn't know that part. I missed knowing. I was ready to pay again because it was worth it. Let me tell you, so much information.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. We had a great time in the class. It was a lot of things that you can apply right away. So again, there's details on the page there. If you want in the class, you can register. It's going to be $297 when we get a little closer to launch date, but right now I am offering it for $197, and this is 6 modules plus 6-hour-long Q&A sessions. Plus, again, if you register today and you're one of the first 5, you get a private one-on-one hour with me to go over whatever it is you need help with your blog and your website.
When do the classes start, Michelle?
Oh, the classes start February 6th.
Okay, February 6th.
So we've got a little, let's see, almost 2 weeks before we get started here.
Okay.
And you do, when you register, I will send you access to some kind of jumpstart goodies to get you started, so you don't have to wait that long to jump in and get some of the content.
And they get you record also. I just want to point that out. You get
yes,
if you miss a class.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything is recorded. All the learning modules are recorded so that you can watch them at whatever time is convenient for you. I know for me that's generally like 2 a.m. So if you're like me and during the day just does not work for you, don't worry. You still get access to everything. I will make sure that you can send your questions in early if you can't make the Q&A call. One thing that I'm going to do differently this time is we're going to have the Q&As kind of split up on different times so that people on different time zones can get there.
Okay.
You also get free access to a paid webinar that I am presenting next week. So again, this is something kind of get you started before the class, which is 101 plus ways to drive traffic to your blog. Because that's always one of the biggest questions, and I know last time I ran this, people were really waiting for, I believe it was week 5, where I shared traffic strategies, because in my mind it's like we got to get all these other things in place first. But everybody in the class was like, we want to drive traffic. So I'm starting out with a webinar that you can get free if you sign up for the class, 101 ways to drive traffic to your blog. That will also be recorded so that you can get access to that when
Wow, and that's next week? You said?
Yes, that's going to be next week.
Okay.
I'm going to be presenting that one.
Okay.
So lots of goodies for you. It's $197, and if you want to, you can also split that into 2 payments of $97 each, 1 payment when you sign up, 1 payment in 30 days, make it a little easier on your budget. And I would love to have you enroll in the class. It is packed with information,
yes.
But I do my best to break it down. There's a lot of worksheets that are checklists. I'm a big, big fan of checklists so that it's easy to implement things. You can just go down and, step 1, okay, check that off. Step 2, check that off. Because that's what works for me to get me to actually take action on things. So.
Oh, could I clarify? The 2 easy payments are $99 each. I think you said 97, but they're $99 each if you choose the 2 payment option? Okay.
Yes,
just want to make
$99 each or $197 in 1 payment.
Okay, that is a tremendous deal, let me tell you. I'm excited about the one-on-one customized review because that's, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, that people charge to review and tell you what to do about your blog. That's worth a lot. I really appreciate you offering that.
One reason that I haven't offered them is that when I look around and see what people are charging for them, and they're generally $400 to $500 to have a knowledgeable blogger help you review your blog. And
yes.
I know there's a lot of value in it, but that's a big price for me to charge somebody for that. So I love that I can throw this in free for you, and I really enjoy working one-on-one with people and showing them exactly what you can do, because you do get a lot more value when it's specific to your blog.
Sure, sure. This is for the first 5 people who registered?
This is for the first 5. I had to limit it so that I can make sure that I can deliver those on the schedule here. But I'm very excited about that, and I look forward to
Thank you for offering that. That's wonderful. So to register, they need to go to launchyourblog.com/Flora, and there they'll be able to register and hopefully get in on one of the first 5. That would be cool.
Yes.
Any questions before we end the call today? I'm looking to see if we have any questions. As if that over there in the... Let me thank you again for joining me, Flora Brown and Michelle Schaefer, at this webinar, Quick and Easy Ways to Draw More Traffic, Give High Value, and Increase Your Profits with Your Blog. During this webinar, you have learned how to, first of all, get more traffic. You've learned how to create content that will drive that traffic. And then once you have the traffic coming in, you've learned how to monetize your blog. We extend this special invitation to you once again to join Michelle in her special new workshop, Launch Your Blog. This workshop will contain 6 webinar modules, which will be once a week for 6 weeks. And then on a separate day, Michelle will be hosting weekly open Q&A question and answer calls where you can get all your questions answered. In addition, you will begin to get bonus resources and goodies as soon as you sign up for the course. The sign up is at www.launchyourblog.com/Flora. Be sure to go there and accept our special invitation. It has been a pleasure to work with you at this webinar. We know that you've gotten something of value, and we hope that you'll continue with us in the Launch Your Blog special series of webinar modules. Okay? See you soon. Go ahead and go right now to launchyourblog.com/Flora. And thank you again for your participation in this webinar. Goodbye now.